Shirley. Come in this hat. It's rather cool. So, it's been asked often why I did the book for Tanya. The book. My tribute to Tanya Tucker. A country music legend. Yes. For the love of Tanya. I did it. And it was no easy street. I did it because Tanya was coming up for 50 years in. And nothing like this had ever been done. I'm sure anybody could have done it. And I wanted to do it in the first place just as something for Tanya to say, you know, you're appreciated. You know, you are amazing. A true country legend. This book took about 15 months. I didn't want to say I was doing it in the first place. I went around gathering information, gathering up files, speaking to family and friends and asking for things and getting permissions for this, that and the other, and asking. And now and again it would be like, well, I'm doing this book thing just as a present, but keep it secret. And there was hours of struggle with it. Can you imagine? I mean, people say, oh, it's easy. No, it really isn't, because once you've got everything, you've then got to put it in some order. You've got to sort it out. You've only got so many pages. And I had so many problems with filing something this huge. What do you put in? What do you leave out? And it started as a very small thing about albums and things she'd done, things that people don't recognise her for or hold her up for, and so much is ignored and missed out of any charitable things. You know, people miss key things about her, and it needed to be said and done, even if it was only for her. But then Shirley said, well, I want one, and other people are going to want it. And it took 15-20 hours a day, but it got me through COVID from the normal routines going out the window. And it has her going through her day for a show day and everything that goes with that. It's got various pictures and so much of her styles of dressing. It's got her through the years. It's got album information, a short discography, because I couldn't do everything, and it's got life at home and the fun of her and the love of her, and it's all in this. I mean, it's quite a book. It's quite a thing, and yes, it was. I did everything for it, sorting it out, doing it, putting it together, and doing it on a self-published thing. No? Yeah, I mean, it's just to a T, huh? To a T. And yeah, there's a lot of pictures. A bit like a catalogue. But it has a story in it. A lot. I'm pretty proud of this. So that's why I did it. But if you want me to take you back to me with it all, I mean, I was, what, 7 years old when Tanya released Delta Dawn. And in the UK, it didn't quite come through at that time, till later on. And my dad was a big Johnny Cash fan, and my stepmother was a big Elvis fan. My stepfather was an Elvis fan. I spent a lot of time in the holidays with my dad and a lot of time with my grandparents. My dad would be like, You need to be more like Johnny Cash. Like, don't give up about people. And look out, kid. Those country songs say a lot of good things about love and heartache. Listen. Well, words never meant anything like that. And then I was helping him bottle up, you know, in the pub in the morning and doing odd things before taking the dogs for a walk. And he used to dance around to the Bellamy Brothers. But said you had a beautiful part and all that sort of thing. And I went down in a burning river. And he'd say, one day, kid, you're going to understand all that. Okay, fine. No. And then he said, on the radio, he said, listen, listen, listen. This is that girl I was telling you about. This is that young girl. She's only a bit older than you. Listen, listen. Tanya Tucker, Delta Dawn, listen. And he turned it right up. Don't move, listen. And I'm listening to this song. So you're looking at me like 8 years old, sort of thing. Going on 9, going, okay. See, it's really good, isn't it? It's really good. And I'm thinking, well, I just said I don't like it. I really don't like it, Daddy. What do you mean don't like it? I said it's sad. It's like all Nana's friends, you know, who live down her road and they're all sad because of war and losing people. It's sad. I don't like it. Oh, well, I think it's good. Okay, Dad. Then it was, 1975, so I was 10. And I was sitting at home at my dad's on the floor with the dog, and he came in holding this album. And he said, where's your sister gone? I said, oh, it's my stepsister. She's gone out with her mum shopping. And he roughed my hair and said, oh, you didn't want to go with them. I wasn't actually asked. But anyway, he said, oh, when Barbara gets back, tell her I've got her this record. I said, okay, Dad. And then he'd gone out of the bedroom and I looked across and it's in this album cover. Yeah, it's up there. And I thought, I'll play it. Keep an eye out for them coming back, but I'll play it. And I listened to it and so much on there and I'm, nope. And then it was like, those words, I've been cheated, boom, 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 been mistreated, when will I? You see, I can't sing at all, but I loved it. And then it was like, I'm not Lisa, my name is and I'm like, I love it. And I had this crush on the barman, and I used to sing it out the window, his girlfriend's name was Mandy. I'm not Mandy. My name is... yeah, a 10-year-old. Yeah, okay. And then Jessie Coulter did hers. I'm not Lisa. My name is Julie. It's like, yep, that's cool. And then there was another one I quite liked, Son of a Preacher Man. And I didn't like King of the Road. But there was ones on there. And I thought, I've got records that the jukebox man gave me when he emptied it in my case. So I'm just going to put some of those on her bed and I'm just going to put that album in my suitcase and take it home. And when Barbara comes in and says, oh, Dad's put some records on there for you. That was it. He didn't, I just knew by the time he started drinking, he wouldn't even remember what he'd done. He wouldn't remember about the album. And I went home with it. And nobody else liked it. And if my friends later on, if they were having a bring your record round evening, they were into Motorhead, AC/DC and things like that, and no, nobody wanted to hear Tanya except for me. But she, you know, all through the years, every time, you know, she got older, she changed what she was doing, her tone changed slightly. Then there was the fire thing with her face, the damage to her face, and it was like, and the tone changed again. But every time you just know, here comes Tanya, here comes another song by Tanya. But there was like a song for every moment in your life, every day, every night, every good time, every bad time, and it just kept going. And so you know, in 2015, I was like, ooh, I started to sort of think about, I need to go and see her. 2017, I actually had communication with her managers, and I got tickets and go out to Vegas, and it was the first time I'd ever seen her live. I mean, 50 odd. First time I got there, because I had no commitments to my children, and work-wise I could sort it out to go. And I went, and you know, she came out on that stage, and I was like, this is Tanya live. Wow. You know, I'd seen YouTube, I'd got all the records, but this was different. This was live Tanya. And oh my goodness, she came out, she got stories and dancing and the kids, and I did just goosebumps. It was an incredible moment. That person who's been so distanced for years, and there's little communication about things at times, and what's written and what's said, and that music, it doesn't matter. Her song comes through, and it just comes through everything. And you go, sometimes you think, oh, that girl needs a hug. That girl needs someone. And there she is, incredible. And yeah, Vegas has been my go-to each year, but obviously there wasn't anything Vegas through COVID. And that's okay, you know, she needed a break. Really needed a break. That's years of travelling and going here and going everywhere. And people don't get it. I get it. She's a human being. She's a woman. And she's strived through so much to still be herself and be where she is today. And all I can do is say this book is my tribute to her, and I'll hold her right up there. And I won't have anybody saying anything wrong or mean about Tanya. She doesn't deserve that. There it is. And then, of course, the last thing that I got to, the Ryman. I mean, she actually said on stage, Jay, you see her? And the flowers were on stage already, you know, the flowers for 50 years, and white crowned sparrow made it, you know. Yeah, so there was no Mustang Ridge, there was wheels of Laredo, and wow, your heart just goes boom. What a night. She was just magnificent, and the people coming to support her on that stage, and the whole atmosphere in the crowd, and I'd sat there watching everybody going in, and just, yeah, they're there for Tanya, they're there to support her. And yeah, I even got to sign a book and spoke to quite a few people who said, oh, excuse me, are you London Julie? And as soon as I opened my mouth, it's like, oh yeah. It's okay, can I see your tattoos? Oh right, yeah, you did the book, okay, you know, and chatting and that, because obviously I do a lot of postings and a lot of support, and yeah, nail people's asses when they need it. So that's the Tanya book, tribute book, and that is why. For the love of Tanya, right?